everyone. This is Jeff Clark with a new episode of the Pater Podcast, and this is going to be my summary of the many companies in the Gold Advisor portfolio that I met with at the Beaver Creek Conference, Precious Metals Summit, they call it, in beautiful Beaver Creek, Colorado. This is a great conference. It's very productive for analysts, people like me. I met with many gold advisor companies, many payer prospector companies, and a few new ones. There will be a couple picks coming out of that one that I'm buying immediately. I can tell you more about that later. So what I'm going to do to make this work is share my screen and go through all of these companies with you and get the latest. These are my notes from the conference. This is not, a presentation or anything. These are just the direct notes that I took meeting with the CEOs and geologists or whoever it may have been. So let's jump in, and I want to go to the next screen. And oh, there we go. So these are the gold advisor companies that I met with at the conference. I either met with them and or they had news. Disclosure, I think everyone knows this is my personal portfolio. I own all of these stocks. I'll let you know which ones I own more of or are overweight. Okay, here we go. Aztec Minerals. So Aztec Minerals has a 12-hole, 2,000-meter drill campaign that they expect to start at Tombstone there in Arizona in mid-September, so literally any day here. We'll probably see some news on that very soon. Two of the holes will be deep. And the reason for that is because there could be a copper porphyry underneath all of this. We'll find out, but they have the geological evidence that suggests there could be something there. That's why they're drilling two that'll be deep. The goal is to expand the open pit. If you look at the image on the right, you can see there the contention area on the right. That's sort of where the open pit is. And of course, the big green circle is where they're trying to expand and drill. You can see this could be a lot bigger, and they've had very good drill results. So this could be very interesting as we go forward. This is an overweight position for me. And the stock is still very cheap. I've been saying that for a while, but it's still true. It's only a $19 million market cap as of Friday. If you own it, I definitely would hold on to this. There's a lot of things that could be coming from this company. Okay, I also met with Cabral Gold CEO Alan Carter. Basically, they're going to start a low-cost, low-risk operation. And once they do that, they're going to use the cash flow from that to get aggressive with drilling in other regional targets. Number two, the pre-feasibility is looking positive. It's going to be completed by next month. That could be very interesting. If it's positive, like Alan says, or thinks it will be, that could be a catalyst for the stock, because I think the market, wants to see that this is going to work, and that will show if it will or not. They've got a new VP exploration, Brian Arkle. He has experience in doing the very things that Cabral needs to do right now. This was a very good ad by them. Number three, you'll see the focus has shifted from drilling into development and demonstrating the economic viability of the oxide material. The oxide material is the stuff at the top. It's high grade. They're going to start by producing that, get cash flow going. This is interesting. A full feasibility study is not required at this stage, he says, and I've seen this before. One reason is because it won't require a significant amount of capital investments. The capex to build this is going to be low to start. The met results are getting stronger and stronger as they do it. We're going to see news flow and optimization toward the year end. They may add another drill rig. And there, number five, the production target is 20,000 ounces a year to start. Times that by $2,500 gold, and you get $50 million in revenue per year. The company's market cap is only 67. So even a small operation to start could be very, very positive for them. The current resource is outdated. They found significant gold since, so we'll see another resource update at some point. The stock rose over 13% while at Beaver Creek, so some investors really like the stock. Good long-term hold. I own it. Canter Resources, they weren't actually at Beaver Creek, but they had news during the week, and they acquired a 1,000-acre Railroad Valley project, it's called, in Nye County, Nevada. It's not far from Tonopah. It has some infrastructure already in place. And number three, despite geological similarities to the nearby Clayton Valley, which is a lithium project, Railroad Valley is, quote, one of the most promising untapped lithium boron brine opportunities in the region. That's from Jonas Lang, the CEO. Now, if you look at the image, what is that? Anybody guess? That is soil sampling. That's what they do for soil sampling. My dad did some of this. So basically you're digging around and you're usually doing it in a grid type of manner, but that's one soil sample that they gathered and put it in that gray bag there. Canter Resources is an overweight position for me. The stock has only a $5 million market cap. Some of these are just getting stupid cheap. I mean, my gosh. If you own it, do not sell it. Hold on to it. I expect to see some good things from this company in the near future. Cassiar Gold, I met with them, CEO Marco Roque, and also Joe Maxwell, the VP Exploration. Basically, the drilling is focusing on expanding the Taurus deposit. Taurus is the north deposit at Cassiar Gold. That's the bulk tonnage target. It's really proving up something pretty valuable here. That's where most of the resource is. On the right, that what color is that? Magenta, pink, or whatever. That's the resource. The blue box there on the left is where most of the drilling is taking place right now. This could be a very valuable deposit for someone to buy because, number two, 90% of the ounces are within 150 meters of surface. Could be a great open pit operation. They're consistently hitting, they're accumulating more and more ounces. Again, we see more of the same every time they report drill results, right? They're, good drill results every time. But what that does, that doesn't excite the market because it's more of the same. And yet they're adding more and more ounces every time they do that. They've got 21 more holes yet to report. We're going to see an updated resource in Q1 or Q2 next year. And the obvious question there is it going to be 2 million ounces? They're at 1.4 now. I really hope, and they do too, of course, that we can get to 2. There's been a lot of drilling. There'll be 3 seasons of drilling, actually, since the last resource. So fingers crossed we get to 2. We'll see. Marco, the CEO, and Steve Letwin, the chairman, both invested $500,000, $500,000 each in the last private placement. So the leaders of this company really believe in it, and they're putting their own money, a lot of their own money, into it. So don't give up on this. It's an overweight position for me. As I've said many times, I'm underwater, but the stock hasn't been beat up like a lot of others, right? Very low market cap, but you got to hold at this point, okay? There's value in what they're doing, and next year could be something very positive for the company. We'll see. Dolly Varden Silver, I met with Sean Kunkun, the CEO. I really like this company. This is going to be a good hold for the silver bull market. So number 1 there and number 2 actually are both recent drill results from the Wolf veins. And that is what the image on the right shows. You can go through those and look at the grades they're hitting and the widths. And what you'll notice is some of these widths are pretty good. You want to see over a meter wide. That's what we really want. Excuse me. And you can see number 1 over 7 meters, almost 8. Number 2 over 2.8 meters. So that's good. They're finding new hits at the Moose and Chance veins. They want to make new discoveries, increase the silver reserves at the Wolf, Homestead, and Betsy veins. A lot of veins here to explore, right? They increased the drilling planned for this year from 25,000 meters all the way up to 46,000. So this was a pretty dramatic increase because they like what they see and they think they can prove up more ounces. They've got 40 million in cash. How many juniors do you know that have 40 million in cash? They do not need to raise money until 2026. They're funded through this year and all of next year. Here's the quote from Sean. My goal was to transform and lead the industry rather than just influence and grow. That's a very interesting quote from him. And I asked, well, that suggests some M&A. So, we'll have to wait and see. The stock jumped while at the Beaver Creek Summit. If you own it, this is a definite hold throughout the silver bull market. If you don't, buy on dips. Heliostar Metals. I met with Charles Funk, the CEO. I really like him. This is a very sharp guy. Look at number one. We just added 3.5 million ounces. We got 2 mines coming online in a year and a half, and we got that all for just 15 million. If you followed the news on our website, and if you haven't, please sign up for the newsletter. This is all free. They bought 2 more assets. There was not a lot of news afterward, but now they're coming out with a lot of news. And look at number 2. By the end of 2026, we will be producing 100,000 ounces of gold a year. So that's only a short year and a half, maybe from now. By the beginning of 2028, we'll produce 150,000 ounces a year. A lot of investors don't realize exactly what's happening here. Look at the image there on the right, the production pathway. And you can see the light blue is what they're going to get into production right away. The darker blue, as you go to the right, are other things they're going to get into production by then, with some other projects that they're working on as well in the yellow and green. So this company is going to rock and roll here within the next year or two. You definitely want to hold on to it. And this stock has not done well. Some of it's because of Mexico. Is Mexico a concern for Heliostar Metals? No, everything is already permitted for what they want to put into production. So number 5, they could generate 40 million in profit, not cash flow, not revenue, in profit next year. And their market cap is only 79 million. So in the first year, they're already going to produce over half in profit of what their current market cap is. This is a definite overweight position for me. If you own it, hold on to it. Do not sell it. If you don't own it and you like this story, this is a strong buy. Radisson Mining. I really like this company working up in Quebec. I met with CEO Matt Manson. Number 1, he stated this, and I made him repeat it. Look, there's 2 to 3 million ounces of gold here. We just have to prove it up. And that's sort of what they're doing there on the right. You can see the grades they've been hitting. Remember, they've already got almost 1 million ounces at over 10 grams per ton for an open pit. That's a very attractive project. You can see the grades though, and the widths they're hitting. This is going to be a good mining operation. Number 3, they have 10 to 15,000 meters still to report. Some of them are deep holes. The deeper they go, it's interesting, the richer the gold gets. So this could be much bigger than what they already currently have. And I think that's why he's making that comment. There's 2 to 3 million ounces. Number 4, we'll always be drilling. I love hearing that. They'll always be making progress. And because there's the geological evidence that they should be doing that. The stock jumped 46% during Beaver Creek. So a lot of investors, and keep in mind, these are fund managers, institutional investors, family office managers. There's not a lot of newsletter writers like me there. These are some, people with some big money. And look what they did. They bought a lot of Radisson last week. It's an overweight position for me. This is a definite hold. If you own it, hold on to it, buy it on dips. This one's going to go. This is one I feel very strongly about. Revival Gold. I met with Hugh Agro, the CEO, Beartrack Arnett, the flagship project they've had for a while, now has 46 million ounces. The first phase in, let me move my face there so I can read it. The pre-feasibility is underway on the first phase of the production. Remember, pardon me, they're going to do like some other companies are going to start with a smaller operation where the high grade is, use that cash flow for further development and exploration. Hugh was insistent they have the potential to increase that resource dramatically. So, I mean, is there 8 million ounces here? Is there 10? We'll find out. But this is not something he thinks is going to go from 4.6 to 4.8. He thinks it's going to be much bigger than that. Remember, they just bought the Recur Gold project in Utah. This is a huge addition for them because they can permit it faster than they can Bear Track Garnet in Idaho. And it's also heap leach, which is cheaper and quicker to build. It's 6 hours from Bear Track Garnet. Permitting is already underway. This was interesting. Utah lacks the resources, but has the potential for a large-scale resource development. This potential attracts investors and corporations. The state is working to engage others to realize this potential. So that's very positive. The projects number 3 have similar deposits. They're both brownfields. They have supported communities. The geology is similar. So the team working at Bear Track Garnet understands Recur. Number 4, the stock price does not reflect the progress made. That's pretty obvious. Look at number 5. The market cap is half of the current NPV, the net present value. So for this project to be valued appropriately, the stock would basically have to be double what it is now. I believe this is one that will turn when the junior market turns. I think this will get that value realized. And in the meantime, the company is progressing full steam ahead. I like it. Snowline Gold, a big win for us at Valley. They just reported. They were at Beaver Creek. I didn't actually meet with them. I didn't feel like I needed to. But a lot of people obviously like the stuff. 4 grams over 244.9 meters. That's 991.8 gram meters. As I say in Peter, you want to look for 100 gram meters. Okay, you just multiply the grams times the meters. That you want to see over 100. Now, listen, that doesn't mean it's bad, but when you get over 100, hey, you've got a pretty good hole, right? And you can see what Snowline's reporting. Within that hole was a 605 gram meter hit. They've also identified new targets. Charlotte, a new system at Rogue. Valley is at the Rogue project. Grab samples up to 28 grams per ton gold. I don't know how to pronounce it, Galatea target. That looks very promising as well. They have grab samples over 6 grams per ton gold. So some strong targets identified that they can go after. There are assays pending for over 22,500 meters across 7 targets. They're still drilling. The stock was up 11% at Beaver Creek. And there it is. There's the statement. You will hold this through the bull market. Just hold Snowline. If you don't own it, buy only on dips. But this is a hold for us for the bull market or until they get bought out. Summa Silver. Summa Silver hasn't had a lot of news recently, so I did ask them about that. And they just announced today, ironically, that the next drill program is going to get underway here at Hughes. They're identifying drill targets now. Now, what you see from the image on the right there is the drilling on the left, and in the center of that image is the drilling they've done to date with some of the drill results down at the bottom. And then you see the gray box on the right. These are the expansion areas they want to go after at Hughes, which they think have a lot of potential. You see they have minimal drilling there, ruby, topaz, diamond, sapphire. These are all zones they want to go after that look very promising. That's where they're going to be drilling in the upcoming campaign. They have 1.8 million in cash. Drilling is cheaper in Nevada, so this will be enough to get it going. Eric Sprott still owns it. He's still supportive. I remain overweight, even though I'm underwater. hold the stock. It's been beat up, but management is pushing forward and get more aggressive once the junior market turns. I think that's what will happen. So hold on to this one. Tectonic Metals, I met with CEO Tony Rada. Some very interesting things came out of that meeting. Number one, the met test results say they don't need to build a mill. They'll be able to heat bleach this, which is cheaper and quicker. Their recovery rates are 95%. So the met work, and you remember they've only had one drill camping last year, and they're on the second one now, but they're doing a lot of met testing to show a potential suitor that this is going to be an economic mine. Number two, the drill results suggest there's multi-million ounce potential here. All 74 holes last year, you'll recall, did intersect gold. Drills are turning right now. We're going to see first assay results, not till the end of October, but that means they're going to last through the rest of the year. And again, this is only the second drill program ever. Investors like Tectonic, they just raised $3 million in a crappy market, as Tony put it. The stock was also up 18% today. People coming back from Beaver Creek and buying the stock. However, it's still near 2-year lows. This is a major buy at the current level if you like the story like I do. Vizsla Copper. Oh my gosh, this stock has gotten so cheap. But look, I met with the CEO, Craig Perry. They've completed 4 holes of 3,200 meters so far. They expect to drill a total of 4,000. They finished 3 holes at Red Gold, which neighbors the Mount Polly deposit. Mount Polly is a big copper project. Assays are still pending. Number 2, remember they got the Poplar project in March for 2.7 million, which has almost 2 billion pounds of copper and about $1 million worth of gold. That's a very cheap price to pay for that. And the total resource, number 3, is now close to 4 billion pounds and 2 million ounces of gold. This is a valid project with a lot of pounds and ounces. Company has 4 million in the bank. They are considering a strategic investment. So, what does that mean? A big investor coming in, making an investment in the company, maybe a joint venture. It takes money to advance these kinds of projects. So that's one thing that, could be holding it back. But the bottom line is they've got a lot here, and there's a lot still yet to explore and prove up. As they say, number 5, they discovered several new areas of potential drilling. We went through each of them at the meeting, but I won't go into all those. But there's a lot of other targets that are pretty excited about. CEO Craig Perry has bought a significant amount of stock. He told me at the end of the meeting as we're walking out that he's looking to buy more very soon. So we'll probably see some insider buying from him. Because he just can't pass up the stock. Maybe he did it today. I don't know. The stock was look at that, number 7. The stock was up 25% while we were at Beaver Creek, and it was up again today. So maybe Craig was in there today. I don't know. Given all that, it's still near its all-time lows. So this is a strong buy if you'll hold it to see what they can do with this project. I own it. I'm looking, as I say there at the end, I'm looking to go overweight on the next dip. I'll buy another tranche, which will officially put me overweight. I like it. Then there's Vizsla Silver. I actually didn't meet with them, but they had news during Beaver Creek. They raised, actually, no, I'm sorry. The news was today, Monday, September 16th. They're raising 65 million in a bought deal financing. That's a lot of cash. They're going to issue 25 million shares to do that at the Canadian price of 260. The dilution equals 10.5%. Not great, but that's a lot of cash. They also allow for a 15% over allotment. If that gets filled, it would get up to almost 75 million that they raised. The funds are going to be used for exploration and drilling, development, and Panuco. Remember, the last hole hit 39,188 gram meters of silver. That is not a misprint. there's after all the drilling and discovery they've made there, they're still hitting these screaming good holes. It's really something. Number six, based on the drill results, they expanded the program by 5,000 meters. So they were drilling, based on the results, they decided to drill 5,000 more than what they originally planned. This is both inside the resource area and outside of it to hopefully expand it. They will complete drilling in late September, later this month. In the last bullet point there, the stock crashed today on the news, which is understandable. They diluted a lot, they raised a lot, and it was at a price where the investors sold down to it, even below it. So if you're in the market, you like this company or you want more, try to bid just below that price, which was 260 Canadian or the US equivalent. The stock was up at Beaver Creek. It's basically back to where it started, so not a big deal. This is a long-term hold. I own it. I plan to hold it for the duration of the bull market. Okay, here we go. Westward Gold. I had a great meeting with them. I met with CFO Andrew Nelson, VPX Exploration Robert Eddy, and advisor Stephen Kohler. This is a new hire to them, but he's been on board for a year. So, but anyway, he has worked in the Cortez Trend and discovered gold. And I was very impressed with him. This guy knows what he's doing. He's been in the area. He knows what majors look for. Like he says there on the right, we are a junior thinking like a major. And he's someone who was definitely qualified to do it. I really like what they were doing. So first there on the left image there, Westward holds the dominant land position in the area. You can see in the graph where Westward Gold's property is. Beside it is, and above it is SSR Mining. Barrick there's a mine there. Nevada Gold Mines is right next door. So what a neighborhood, what a zip code. I mean, if your neighbor on the left found gold, and your neighbor on the right found gold, and your neighbor across the street found gold, would you look for some gold on your property? That's basically what we've got here at Westward. That's a simple explanation. But as you can see in the graph on the right, what Steve and the team are doing there is they're comparing Toyabe, their flagship, to other projects in the Cortez Trend. And there's the checklist. There's the things they've done there in the first column, the Cortez Trend. You can see all the check marks for what's there, what they're looking for. And you can see they are matching up and finding many of the things that are found on the Cortez Trend. This is giving them stronger and stronger geological evidence that they have potentially even a district, because they've already got a district land position, but they've got multiple deposits here they could potentially prove up. This could be very exciting. So I know the stock is down, but you've got to hold on to this. I'm overweight the stock. I'm underwater, just like most people. I do know that Andrew has, I think he bought right before, during the conference. So you got to hold on to this. They've been spending a lot of time this summer. It's not exciting news, so it wasn't stuff that moves the market, but it proves up the drilling targets and just what they're going after, like in that checklist. They've been doing soil sampling, rock chip sampling, gravity work, geophysics, geochem, lots of things to ultimately define drill targets. So like it says there, we're going to see drilling start next June. I might do a site visit with them because the project is not too far from me. It's less than a one-day drive. So I might be there next year when they start. We'll see. But I know it's underwater, but you've got to hold on to the stock. There's a lot of exciting potential here. And next year could be very interesting for us. Okay, as I wrap this up, are you ready to rock and roll? I think this market is ready to turn. I think by this time next year, we're all going to be a lot more excited. If you saw my article on the website, under articles, is the fuse for junior market is lit. If you read that, you'll see why I think so. So I think within the next year, we're going to be a lot more excited. And will I see you at MIF, the Metals Investor Forum? I hope I'll see you up there in Vancouver later this week. My talk is Friday at 1:30. Are mining stocks the trade of the decade? That's my title. I have some data I'm going to go through with you and show you why I think that could be the case. I also have 4 companies there, so we'll be talking with them. They'll be making presentations, and I'll be interviewing each of them. Peter Krautz, our silver guy, speaks Saturday morning. He has a pretty good presentation, pretty compelling. You might want to hear. This is one of my favorite conferences. It's smaller, more intimate, so you get a chance to really mingle and talk directly with the CEOs, everyone at the company, all the newsletter writers, other investors, and it's free. So if you want to sign up, there it is, metalsinvestorforum.com. I hope to see you there. Like I said at the beginning, I did interview a lot more than just gold advisor companies, a lot of payer prospector companies, stocks that are in that portfolio. There will be a couple of new picks coming out of that, a couple others that are already been set up. So there's going to be some more new ones here by before the end of the year. It's not expensive to subscribe. You can do it quarterly or annually. You can see it on the website there at thegoldadvisor.com/prospecting. Okay, so that wraps it up. I hope this has been useful for you all. These are basically my notes from the conference. I hope you find it helpful. As you can see, I think these are all high quality companies that you're going to want to hold on to, or maybe consider buying or adding shares if you don't already have them. So, okay, everyone, thanks. And I will see you next at the Metals Investor Forum. Thanks, everybody.